What's going on, everybody? It's Brett Pro Angel here. Today I'm bringing to you a deck profile for Synchro Eldlich. So without further ado, let's dive into it. First, my monster lineup, I have 3 golden boys. He's pretty standard. Some people opt to run 2. I think 3 is optimal because his effect is so good. I wouldn't run 2 because, like, some people say, like, you only have 3 sanguines, like, you need room for other things. But if you essentially draw him with sanguine or use Eldland to search a card, like, his other effect sends and it doesn't target. So Eldlich is just really a good card. He can get around a number of threats. This card can get over Avramax. Like, he's just really good. Next we have, pretty standard, 3 Jet Synchron. Everybody's saying this card's gonna get banned. I wouldn't be surprised if it did, even though Fibrax is the problem. But I will say Jet Synchron is a 1-card Fibrax, and just with this 1 card you can go full combo and do some insane shenanigans. Next we have 3 Magician Souls and 1 Apprentice Illusion. Some people do not like running this. I think it's optimal. I think Souls just opens up a whole new door to this deck. If you draw Souls and you have like a number of spell and traps that you can't use, you could pitch them to draw, and even if you get Ash, those spell or traps that you pitch are most likely going to have graveyard effects because we are playing Eldlich. So even Apprentice Illusion Magician, some would say it's horrible to draw her, but I say if you draw her and you have, like, say, like a Golden Land card, she becomes really effective in a number of ways, and it's a free summon. Next we have our 2 O-Lions and our 1 Despot 001. I think 2 O-Lions is optimal. Some people run more, some people run 1. I think 2 is pretty standard because it does have a second effect that some people aren't really aware of. If you have 1 in your hand and 1 in the grave, you can banish the 1 from the grave to summon the 1 from your hand, thus creating a slew of other plays with this. Despot 001 is really standard in this deck. Basically, you want to run this card because when you summon your Auroradon tokens, that's summoning multiple machines at one time, and you can bring out Despot 001 from your graveyard and just do an insane amount of plays. Okay, so that's all for those monsters. Now we'll move on to the hand traps. I currently run 3 Nibiru and 3 Ash Blossom, 2 Effect Veilers, and some don't agree with this, but I run 1 Phantasme. Truth be told, there's a good chance that I could be replacing Nibiru, like 1 Nibiru, and Phantasme for 2 Chills, because Chill is such a good new hand trap. Currently I do not have her at the moment, I can't even lie to you, but I am getting her here shortly, so I'm just gonna be waiting for her to arrive. But yeah, so basically with this lineup, this is gonna be sideboarded and 1 Nibiru is gonna be gone, and this is gonna be 2 Chills. So that's my hand trap lineup. On to the spells. We don't run very many spells in this deck, but the ones we do are very beneficial. We run 3 tunings, mainly because tuning essentially searches your Jet Synchron, enabling those 1-card crazy insane board combos, and you could potentially mill like a card to the graveyard that you really want in the graveyard. My luck, I always end up milling a hand trap or something crazy along those lines, but either way, it's still a good card, and it's really essential for maximum consistency until Jet Synchron gets banned, if it does. Okay, next we have 3 Cursed Eldlands. This card is very necessary because A lot of people don't know this combo either, but if you run Barricade Borg Blocker, which you should if you're trying to do the draw 4 combo, which I did in my last tutorial, you can use Curse Eldland, you know, for the normal effect. You could pop Curse Eldland to get Golden Boy on the field if he's in the graveyard, using Eldland's effect to send a Golden Land card from your deck to the graveyard, and then at the end phase, to top it all off, if you use Barricade Borg's effect to pitch a card for cost, even if he's face up or in the graveyard, currently you can take Eldland back to your hand if it's in the grave. So that's just another +1 that you can maintain in this deck. And then we have the standard White Destiny and Black Awakening. Some people actually aren't liking Black Awakening right now. Some people don't like this. I say they're both necessary as a one of, mainly because, you know, this card, realistically, if they had other Eldlich cards that are better, I probably would cut this, but at the time being, this is probably the best we got. I mean, it's not bad though. It summons a Golden Boy from, you know, the deck, but I don't even really use it for that. Mainly if I open up with like an Apprentice Illusion Magician or I go into my Barricade Borg, this is one of the cards that I'm looking to pitch with the effects, because then I can use its other effect in the graveyard to banish this turn. So yeah, those are our enablers. Alright, now for the trap lineup. Fairly short spell lineup. We got 3 Sanguine. Sanguine is predicted. People are saying it's going to go to 1. I actually wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, with the deck being rather new, I don't see them doing this, but I will agree, if you put Sanguine at 3 still and don't touch it, Konami, then bring back Harport and Orcus to at least 1, please. So that's that. And then we got 3 Conquistadors. Conquistador, this is one of the more broken trap cards in the deck, because this card can get over Mystic Mine, even though it's a monster. Like this, you don't even need the main deck Cyclone and take up your main deck space with random cards like that, because this right here is all you really need. If you can get Golden Boy onto the field and your opponent has Mystic Mine, this resolves as a trap card and ultimately destroying it. Or if you have this in your monster card zone and you have Golden Boy in the graveyard, it's still considered a trap, so you can send it to the graveyard even if it's in the monster zone and bring out your Golden Boy. Okay, same for Haquero. Haquero is a really good card to have. A lot of decks now are based around the graveyard. This essentially is going to banish one of those cards from the graveyard. Monster, spell, trap, whatever. If you're in a mirror match, you can banish your opponent's Haquero from the graveyard to prevent them from getting their effects. This card is essentially really, really good. And then our last trap card, last card in the main deck is Golden Land Forever. This is essentially like the Solemn Judgment of the deck. This card is just really good. It is just that solid negator. It's like our orchestrated crescendo. Yeah, it's basically like our crescendo of the deck. This card, if you just can do the draw 4 combo and you end up searching this card off of Eldland, or you end up drawing it in your combo, you're basically just going to halt your opponent, because you will end with Borreload Savage with 3 negates, TG Hyper Librarian, a Golden Boy typically that's full powered at 3500, a bunch of back row, including this, making it really hard for your opponent to get over, especially if you have hand traps. Okay, so onto the extra deck. We have Link Kribo, my buddy. And then we have Link Ross. Link Kribo essentially is like the main card that you're going to be using to start your combo. Link Ross is just like an added bonus. It's like the cherry on top. And then we got our Barricade Borg Blocker. As I stated earlier, you can, once you go into him, you can pitch a card for his cost, and then you can link him off and his effect will still resolve in the end phase. If you have Cursed Eldland in the graveyard, you could take that card back to your hand. So that's it for these ones. And then we got standard 2 Halleyfirax and 2 Auroradons. These cards are the most standard staples in the deck. These are our enablers. The other were our combo starters. These are definitely the enablers because Holly Fibrax is going to get you your Despot 001. And this card is going to get you your O-Lion, essentially creating all your powerful plays. The draw 4 combo, the Savage, all that insane shenanigans. That's it for the Link monsters that I run. Now on to the Synchros. I run 1 Formula Synchron, 1 Metal Marcher, 1 Herald of the Arclight. That's pretty much it for my low-level Synchro monsters. This right here is essentially a formula. Is essentially for your draw 4 combo, because you'll stop with TG on the board, and then you'll end up going into him with a Link Ross token. I have the full combo on my channel. It's the last video I just did. I will link it at the end of this video, so make sure you check out the combo. But essentially you're going to end up drawing 2 with him, Hyper Librarian, then you're going to link him off into other cards, draw again, and then you're going to go into Savage and draw again. So the 4-card combo is not really that hard to pull off. Metal Marcher just enables certain plays can happen. Herald of the Arclight is just a good negate to have that you can go into fairly easy. So that's it for the low-level Synchros. And then we got a Cell Synchron, we got TG Wonder Magician, Hyper Librarian. This is one of our main cards in the deck. We got Black Rose, Moonlight Dragon, and then to top it off, we have our Savage. Okay, Borreload Savage, this is our ultimate like win condition. Honestly, I'm going to be cutting her maybe for a Crystal Wing, because Crystal Wing can literally just do so much. So honestly, like, she's good to run, but since we have a Cell Synchron, we don't really need her. But for me, like, she's proven very well. She's maybe side deckable, but I don't know, sometimes you don't really need her. Sometimes in my combos I find myself not using her, but I've been using her thus far, so that's why I put her in the combo tutorial, because she deserves this shine, because, you know, I've been using her anyway. So, but just ultimately note that this will probably just be Crystal Wing, and I may be replacing Black Rose with Access Code Talker, but we'll see how things go in testing. So that's it for that. Now we'll go into the side deck. The side deck is rather fun, if I say so myself. We got 3 Side-Frame Gear Gammas and 1 Side-Frame Driver. These cards are just really essential in the sideboard, just in my opinion, because, you know, you can just take care of a number of threats. It's basically Ash Blossom on steroids. So yeah, those cards are essential. And then, just in case we run into the mirror match or heavy back row, we got 3 Cosmic Cyclones. I opt to play this over Twin Twister, even though Twin Twister is not a horrible neg in this deck, but Cyclone is just better because it banishes the cards, so they can't use them for recursion. And then I play 2 Lightning Storms. You know, honestly, like, you guys don't really need Lightning Storm. Like, if you can't afford this card, you could very easily replace this card with something else. Mainly because, I'm just going to be honest with you guys, like, is this card worth the money? I mean, sure, like, it's worth playing with, you know, and having that fun, but at the same time, is it necessary? Not at all. Because half the time that I play Lightning Storm, it gets negated anyway. Literally half the time I play it. So like, let's be real, Lightning Storm isn't necessary. You don't necessarily need it, but it's a good negate bait, like, to bait out the negates. Okay, and then we got 2 Dark Ruler No More. Dark Ruler No More. Do I have to explain why this card is so powerful? Ultimately, Dark Ruler No More, it just negates everything that your opponent has worked so hard to create, just to let you use your one card to just create a crazy board. So must I say more, that card is just necessary. I would almost opt to play this in the main deck, but I mean, it can be bricky going second, but regardless, it's a great card to have. Okay, now we have 3 evenly matched. This card just evens out the playing field, makes the game a little bit more fair for you by maybe basically punishing your opponent for overextending if they don't have too many negates. I remember one game I opened up game 3 with Dark Ruler No More, Lightning Storm, evenly matched, and Jet Synchron. And that was almost the most unstoppable hand I have ever drawn. And guess what my opponent did? He was playing Adamancipator, went into Dweller, Borreload Savage, all these crazy negates, and then he set a Pointer of the Red Lotus just to hit my Dark Ruler No More, and I ended up losing. But anyway, yeah, evenly matched is a really good card. And our last side deck card is Red Reboot. This is a very underrated card right now. A lot of people would probably like, seriously, if you're playing against Eldlich in a mirror match, this card can be really effective. And I don't know, I don't see it in anybody's sideboards recently online, but this card is just very necessary in my opinion. Someone once said all the pros play this in their side deck. So I'm not saying I'm pro or anything, but I am Brett Pro Angel. So with all that being said, that's it for the deck profile. Hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Brett Angel out.